When I was playing, I used to try to go look for suits in regular places, but could never find them. Of course, being who I am, things were always a little different. Shaquille O'Neal, affectionately known as Shaq, was out enjoying a game with a bucket of popcorn in hand.
When I was playing, I used to try to go look for suits in regular places, could never find them. And, of course, me being who I am, I could pay.
What he thought would be a relaxing evening took an unexpected turn when he had an unforgettable encounter with a toddler. The arena was alive with excitement, the kind of energy only a big game could bring. The Los Angeles Lakers were facing off against their longtime rivals, the Boston Celtics, in one of the most hyped games of the season. Fans roared as the teams warmed up, their anticipation building with every passing second. One guest stood out above the rest in the VIP section. Shaquille O'Neal, dressed in a sharp tailored jacket with his signature chain, leaned back in his oversized seat. A jumbo bucket of popcorn rested on his lap, completing the picture of relaxed indulgence. Shaq was hard to miss. His towering stature and infectious laugh made him a natural focal point, even in a crowd. Occasionally, his laughter rippled through the nearby seats, drawing glances and smiles from fans and admirers. For Shaq, this was meant to be a relaxing night, enjoying the sport he loved without the pressures of competing. The Lakers had invited Shaq to the game as part of a tribute to their championship legacy. At halftime, the team planned to honor former players who had significantly contributed to the franchise's storied history. This invitation was more than just another public appearance for Shaq. It was a heartfelt acknowledgement of his time with the Lakers, a team that wasn't just part of his career, but part of his family. The organization had played a pivotal role in cementing his legacy as one of the most dominant forces in basketball history. Seated courtside, popcorn in hand, Shaq was soaking in the electric atmosphere without the constant glare of cameras, or so he thought. Despite his efforts to stay low-key, Shaq's magnetic personality drew attention. Fans frequently stopped by his seat, asking for selfies or autographs. True to form, Shaq welcomed them with humor and warmth, his larger-than-life personality shining through even during casual interactions. But just a few seats away, an entirely different kind of attention was brewing. Morera and Daniel Johnson were in the stands with their 2-year-old daughter, Harper. Harper was an adventurous and curious toddler with bouncy curls and an insatiable love for popcorn. It was her first live game, and her parents, lifelong basketball fans, had saved for months to afford the tickets. For Daniel, the game was a nostalgic nod to his high school basketball days, while Morera cherished the opportunity to share her favorite sport with their daughter. Harper, however, had her own priorities. From the moment they entered the auditorium, she seemed more captivated by the flashing lights, the cheering crowd, and the tantalizing smells of stadium snacks than the game itself. "Mommy, popcorn," Harper declared, pointing insistently at the concession stands. Morera, hoping to keep Harper occupied, handed her a small bag of snacks they had packed. But Harper's gaze soon shifted to a more enticing target: a massive bucket of popcorn perched on the lap of a very tall man seated just a few rows away. As her parents became engrossed in the game, Harper saw her opportunity. The crowd erupted into cheers for a Lakers three-pointer, and in that moment of distraction, Harper wriggled free from her seat. Determined and undeterred, she toddled toward her objective: Shaq's popcorn. Her light-up sneakers blinked with each step as she made her way closer to the towering figure. To Harper, Shaq wasn't a basketball legend. He was simply the man with the popcorn she wanted. Shaq remained oblivious at first, fully engrossed in the game. His hand occasionally dipped into the popcorn bucket, his focus unwavering. Nearby fans, however, had noticed Harper's determined approach. Whispers and chuckles began to ripple through the crowd. "What's she doing? one fan murmured. Another laughed. "Oh no, she's going for it." Phones emerged as spectators began recording the unfolding scene. When Harper reached Shaq's seat, she paused momentarily, her wide, curious eyes fixed on the golden treasure before her. To the audience, the contrast was almost comedic. A towering 7'1" giant engrossed in the game, and a tiny curly-haired toddler, barely reaching his knees, staring at him like he was a skyscraper. Harper hovered by his chair, her determination unshaken, and finally reached out with her small, chubby hand to grab a handful of popcorn. It wasn't until Shaq felt a slight tug at the bucket that he turned his head. He looked down, confusion flickering across his face, and found himself face to face with Harper. The toddler grinned mischievously, clutching a fistful of popcorn as if she'd just conquered Mount Everest. For a split second, Shaq's expression shifted from confusion to surprise. Then, with his signature humor, he burst into a booming laugh that echoed through the arena. "Oh, you're bold," he said, pointing at her with a grin. "You caught me!" What happened next melted the hearts of everyone watching. Instead of shooing Harper away, Shaq leaned down, his immense hand dwarfing hers, and handed her the entire bucket. "I guess this popcorn is for both of us now," he said. Harper's eyes widened with delight as she clutched the bucket, and the crowd erupted into cheers and applause. But Shaq didn't stop there. He gently scooped Harper up and placed her on his lap, balancing the popcorn bucket between them. "Well, if you're going to steal my popcorn, you might as well sit with me," he said with a chuckle. Harper giggled, shoving a piece of popcorn into her mouth. The two quickly became the center of attention, their playful interactions stealing the show. Shaq mimicked Harper's actions, dramatically fighting for handfuls of popcorn and making exaggerated faces that sent her into fits of laughter. Meanwhile, Harper's parents, Morera and Daniel, were in a state of panic. They had just realized their daughter was missing. "Where's Harper?" Daniel asked, his voice tinged with alarm. Morera's eyes scanned the rows frantically until a nearby fan pointed toward Shaq. "She's down there," the fan said, laughing and gesturing toward the courtside seats. When Daniel and Morera spotted Harper sitting on Shaq's lap, their initial panic gave way to disbelief. "Is she sitting with Shaq?" Morera gasped. They hurried down, weaving through the crowd. But when they saw Harper giggling and sharing popcorn with the basketball legend, their fears eased. Shaq greeted them warmly, his booming laugh putting them at ease. "She's been keeping me company," he said, handing Harper back to her parents with a smile. The heartwarming moment quickly went viral, with fans sharing videos and photos online. Shaq's kindness and humor turned a simple game night into an unforgettable memory for Harper and her family. It was a reminder that sometimes the most unexpected encounters leave the biggest impact. This story isn't just about popcorn or a basketball game. It's about kindness, humility, and human connection. In a world often divided by differences, Shaq's simple act of generosity teaches us the power of small gestures to create lasting memories. It reminds us to slow down, to connect with the people around us, and to recognize that joy can be found in the most unexpected places. For Harper, it was the popcorn. For Shaq, it was the laughter of a toddler. And for everyone who witnessed it, it was a lesson. Kindness and laughter can bridge any gap, no matter how big or small. Let's carry that lesson with us and look for opportunities to spread a little joy, because you never know who might need it.